Sam. A Chinese spy ship has been spotted off the South Australian coast amid fears it could be mapping some of our most critical military communication cables. This comes just weeks after the Chinese military conducted live fire drills in the Tasman Sea. Despite concerns of an ongoing potential threat, the Prime Minister appeared to downplay the situation, saying only that he preferred it wasn't there. For more, we're joined by Shadow Home Affairs Minister James Patterson, live in Parramatta. Good morning to you. Do we know what this ship is doing here?
No, we don't know exactly what it's doing, but it has some pretty interesting capabilities. It can drop a submersible vehicle down 10,000 metres to map the seabed, and also it has the potential ability to map things like our internet cables, which coincidentally travel through. I'm very worried that the Prime Minister is yet again not across the details when it comes to an important matter of national security. Yesterday he said that the Australian Defence Force was tracking this vehicle, but the government is now saying the Australian Border Force is tracking this vessel. Now, I know it's only 2 letters away in the alphabet, but there's a world of difference between the ABF and the ADF. And if the Prime Minister isn't up to the job on national security, then how can we trust him for another 3 years?
So, what, are you saying he lied when he said, I have confidence in the Australian Defence Force?
Well, he either lied or he got it wrong, and it wouldn't be surprising if he got it wrong, because he got it so badly wrong when it came to those Chinese Navy exercises a few weeks ago that you mentioned. He said that we were notified by the Chinese government in advance. We never were. He said that the notification from the Virgin Australia pilot and the notification from the Australian Defence Force came around the same time. Actually, the notification from the Virgin Australian pilot came about an hour before. I'm worried that we're going to have to rely on another Virgin Australia flight over the Great Bight of Australia to monitor what is going on with this vessel, because the Prime Minister has no idea.
OK, so let's say in 5 weeks you're Home Affairs Minister. What would you be doing differently?
Well, first of all, I'd be upfront and clear with the Australian people about what we know and what we don't know, and I wouldn't be getting the facts wrong. Secondly, I wouldn't be baselessly comparing what this Chinese vessel is doing in our region to what our Defence Force does in China's region. The Prime Minister said we do things like this in China. Well, if that is true, why is he talking about it publicly? But secondly, I'm not aware of any similar Australian vessel conducting any similar activities in the South China Sea as the Prime Minister says they did. The ABC has reported this vessel entered into our territorial waters. Are we seriously saying that Australian Defence Force assets have entered into the territorial waters of China to map the deep seabed? And if they have, we've never heard about it until now. I mean, he really needs to come clean to it today. Has he inappropriately disclosed sensitive missions, or did this never happen at all?
So, yeah, he said our ships do similar in the Taiwan Strait. Are you saying that doesn't happen at all?
Well, certainly the Australian Defence Force and Australian Navy does transit through the Taiwan Strait. It's an international waterway, but we do not enter into the territorial waters of the Chinese government, and I'm not aware of any instance of us having a research vessel that has a capability to put a submarine down 10,000 metres to map the seabed.
Maybe it's classified. Maybe the Prime Minister knows, the Border Force knows, and they just don't tell us all the stuff they're doing.
Well, if it is classified, Nat, do you think it's appropriate for the Prime Minister to have disclosed it in a press conference in the middle of an election campaign? I mean, that would be a very serious breach of national security if we have indeed conducted these activities on a classified basis and the Prime Minister has just blurted it out for everyone to hear. OK, well, we'll ask him today. We'll ask more. Thank you very much, James Patterson. Please do.
Here's Sheva.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nat. Drug